I'm recording this video to answer the question about why Jews leave stones on a monument marker at a cemetery. There are many reasons given, and the actual answer is unknown. I'll give you a few of the different theories. One, I heard actually on sports radio, where these two, one Jewish and one non-Jewish sports commentators were talking about it. I don't know how it came up. And once they looked it up, and the answer he got on some news report was that the reason why Jews leave stones is because we don't leave flowers. And the reason why we don't leave flowers was the flowers were originally meant to cover up the smell of the decaying body, but since Jews traditionally bury the body so quickly, flowers were not necessary, and people left stones as a calling card. Now, the custom of leaving flowers is actually a broader reason now. People leave that as a calling card, and even though Jews sometimes delay the funeral a couple of days to allow family members to come, because of refrigeration today, it's really not an issue. And some Jews are leaving flowers now too. The reason for the general frowning upon of flowers was the idea that we don't want to kill something else to honor somebody who died. But some Jews do leave flowers anyway. The other reasons given for the stones were because you may recall if you see the image of the Western Wall, the Kotel, people leave notes in the wall. Well, graves were considered to be a makom kadosh, a holy place, and people would often leave notes for the deceased as kind of prayers, but the notes would blow away, so they put a stone on top of the note. And when they stopped leaving notes, they continued to leave stones. The stones became like a calling card. The custom in modern times has gotten a big boost from the last scene in Schindler's List, where the survivors of the Schindler's List and the Holocaust, when they went to visit the grave of Alex Schindler on Mount of Olives in Israel, you could see in the movie they left stones. And you often see in Jewish cemeteries stones being left as calling cards. So that's basically the reason that's given today. Originally, graves, of course, people would dig holes and just pile stones on top of the grave to keep animals away from the dead body or to try and keep grave robbers away. But today it's really viewed as a calling card more than anything else. Stones actually have a very important role in the Bible, usually big rocks, and they had three different purposes. If you found a pile of stones in the ancient times before the tabernacle was built, it was a sign that it was a holy place. You think about the story of Jacob in the dream in Genesis, where he goes to sleep and he uses a stone kind of as a pillow, and he wakes up from his dream and he sees a ladder going from the heaven to the earth and the earth to the heaven, and he says, "This is a holy place. God is here. I didn't know it." The second reason that stones were meaningful, besides being an early prayer space, was that it often covered up a well. And if you found a stone, a big rock, and it's set in a special way, often it meant that it was covering up a well, which of course was vital in the Middle East, as it is everywhere in the world, to find water. The Bible also talks about how the Israelites set up memorial stones when they got into Israel after their journey in the desert. So stones play a very significant role in religious tradition. Also, it's interesting, if you divide up the word for stone in Hebrew, even, it's three letters, aleph, bet, nun. The first two letters stand for father, and the last two letters stand for son, and so it made a lot of sense to use stones in the sense of a grave. Of course, the first marker that was put in the Bible was when Rachel died in childbirth, and Jacob set up a designation to be able to find Rachel on the road to Bethlehem, which is now actually a very important holy space to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, the tomb of Rachel. So anyway, that's various reasons why. We're not really sure exactly why Jews leave stones in graves, traditionally instead of flowers, but those are probably the various reasons that are given.